The village with no road. Let me tell you more about this village. You can't use a bike or car to enter this village because it is surrounded by water. They are in the middle of ocean. The only way to get there is by boat, and they have only 2 boats because they are not many people. They love each other, care for each other, and live in peace like one big family. But then something terrible happened. One night, they woke up and found that some of their animals were missing. Their goats, pigs, and chickens had disappeared. They looked everywhere, but they couldn't find them. They were confused because they were just a small village. Who could be taking their animals? At first, they thought maybe it was a spirit from the water. But then, even their generators and other things started going missing. If you turned on your generator at night, by morning, it would be gone. This made them even more confused. Spirits might take animals, but why would they take generators and other things? So they decided to set traps around the village before going to sleep. But when they woke up, they found that the traps had been removed, and their things were still stolen. It was like the thief knew everything they planned. Since the traps didn't work, they decided to stay awake and watch. But on the nights when they stayed awake, nothing went missing. The thief only came when they slept. This made them even more worried. One man had an idea. He did not tell anyone about his plan because he believed that the thief was listening to them. He secretly set his own trap and stayed awake that night. And luckily for him, and the whole village, they finally caught the thief. But when they saw who it was, they were shocked. It was a human being. The villagers couldn't believe it. This man was not from their village, yet he knew everything about them. He knew where the traps were, when they were awake, and what to steal. In the morning, everyone gathered around him asking questions. You come from so far away just to steal our things. Why? How do you know what we have in this village? How do you know when we set traps, or when we stay awake? But as they kept asking, some of the villagers were very angry. They didn't want to ask him anything. They just wanted to punish him. One man was the angriest of all. He had lost the most, his animals, his generator, and many other things. He wanted the thief to be killed immediately. We don't need to ask him anything. Let's just kill him for justice, he shouted. But some villagers refused. They wanted to know how this was happening. Then, the thief finally spoke, and what he said left everyone speechless. He said, "The insect that used to eat a leaf always used to be found on it." "What do you mean?" they asked. The thief repeated, "I was never alone. Someone from your village helped me." Now the villagers were in shock. Someone from here? But we all lost things. That's not possible. They looked at each other, but they couldn't believe that one of them could be a traitor. Then the most shocking thing happened. The thief pointed at the very man who had been shouting the loudest for justice. Him. Everyone was silent. They couldn't believe it. "No, that's not possible," they said. But after more questioning, the man finally confessed. "Yes, I was the one helping him," he said. "I was the one who told him what to steal, how to avoid the traps, and when to come." "But you lost everything. How is that possible?" "I planned it that way," the man said. "I made sure I lost things first so that no one would ever suspect me." "But why?" they asked. "Because we had a warehouse outside the village where we stored the stolen things to sell them. I wanted to be the richest man in this village." The remaining villagers were in shock. They couldn't believe what had just been revealed. Their leader looked at the man and said, "You have been eating with us, drinking with us, laughing with us, and yet, all this time you had a heavy heart against us, and we never even knew." The villagers finally understood the meaning of the thief's words. The insect that eats the leaf always lives on it. Betrayal doesn't come from far away. It comes from those closest to you. Without wasting time, they captured both the thief and his accomplice. They demanded that everything stolen be returned before deciding what punishment to give them. Justice had to be served, but first, they had to take back what was theirs. Lesson: be careful who you trust. Not everyone who cries with you is on your side. The people who hurt you the most are sometimes the ones closest to you. No harm can come to you from outside if no one inside helps it happen. If you like this story, don't forget to share, follow, and comment.